It was late evening in Baton Rouge. The restaurant was winding down, tables being cleared, lights dimmed, and the faint clatter of dishes echoing from the kitchen. Senator John Kennedy had slipped in quietly after a long day, hoping for a simple meal and a few moments of peace. But just as he was about to leave, something unexpected stopped him in his tracks. A frail woman stood hesitantly near the counter. Her clothes were worn thin, her hair tied back loosely, and her hands trembled as she clutched a faded purse. She wasn't there to buy food, John could tell. She waited until the servers were distracted, then softly whispered to one of them, "Ma'am, do you have any leftovers? Just anything you were going to throw away." The room went silent for John. That single sentence pierced him deeper than any political battle ever had. He had grown up seeing hardship in Louisiana, but hearing someone beg not for money, not even for a fresh meal, but for discarded scraps, it hit a place inside him he couldn't ignore. The waitress, visibly moved, packed up what little was left in the kitchen and handed it to her. The woman bowed her head, whispering "God bless you," and walked out into the night. Most people in the restaurant turned back to their business. But not John Kennedy. Something inside him refused to let it go. He paid his bill and quietly followed her at a distance. Through dimly lit streets, she carried the bag close to her chest, as if it were treasure. Finally, she reached a rundown apartment complex, the kind where broken windows were covered with plastic and doors barely hung on their hinges. John stopped at the gate and watched. The woman didn't go inside right away. She knocked on the door of a tiny unit. Seconds later, the door opened, and 3 small children rushed out. They weren't cheering for toys or gifts. They were cheering for leftovers. Their little hands reached into the bag eagerly, pulling out bread, fries, and scraps of chicken. The youngest boy, maybe 4 years old, clapped his hands with joy, saying, "Mama brought us dinner." John felt his throat tighten. Here he was, a U.S. senator, debating bills and budgets every day, yet right here, in his own community, children were surviving on food that others had thrown away. The sight humbled him in a way that no political speech could. The mother finally noticed John standing by the gate. Alarmed, she walked toward him. "Sir, I'm sorry if I scared you. I wasn't stealing. I just wanted to feed them." John shook his head gently. "Ma'am, you didn't scare me. But you sure reminded me of something I think a lot of us forget." His voice cracked as he looked at the children still nibbling happily. Nobody in this country should have to beg for scraps to keep their kids from going hungry. That night changed everything for him. He didn't just leave money with her. Though he did, discreetly. He made calls. He reached out to local shelters, food banks, and community programs. With